All praise to Yahweh by Shemi Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, teaching the truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect and 1/3, pushing this word and living by these laws, statutes, and commandments given to Israel to the best of their abilities. Brother Obadiah here again, doing another quick sit down on, how Esau, trying to hide their past, and they're not bringing it out in the books in these schools here in America. You know, they're a little bit of shameful. And at the same time, they're being the devil trying to hide it. Don't want to be exposed as the wicked. You know, per the scriptures. My thing is to Esau, hey man, just be proud of your shit, man. You did it, own up to it, man. Don't be a bitch about it. You had us in slavery, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Be proud of it. Make more movies of it. Put it in more textbooks. Let it be known. But they try to hide this. It's part of their crafty counsel, and also they're shameful. Also at the same time, a little bit of shame and a little bit of trying to just hide it so people don't want to see that they're the goddamn devil. So I'm gonna go into this article I read this morning. I'm gonna read the whole thing. I'm gonna put it in the description box for you brothers and sisters if you want to have it and share it also. This is from MSN. Reads, students don't know slavery was a central cause of the Civil War, report shows. Again, I'm going to read the whole thing. When it comes to the history of slavery in the U.S., the central role it played in shaping the country and its continued impact on race relations, students don't know much. In fact, only 8% of high school seniors can identify slavery as the central cause of the Civil War, according to a report released Thursday by the Southern Poverty Law Center. But don't blame the students, as the report shows. Schools aren't including it in the curriculums. Teachers aren't prepared to teach it, and textbooks don't include enough material about it. It's important that everyone understand that slavery is truly at the foundation and formation of this nation. Hassan Kwame Jeffries, associate professor of history at Ohio State University, said on a press call that the center organized Thursday. You really can't understand the American past or present without having a good grasp of the role that slavery played in this country. But the report shows that 2/3 of high school seniors don't know that it took a constitutional member to formally, so-called formally, end slavery. And fewer than 1 in 4 students can correctly identify how provisions in the Constitution gave advantages to slaveholders. A lot of our students don't even understand the role of the North in slavery and how it benefited from slavery. Jackie Katz, a U.S. history teacher at Wesleyan High School in Massachusetts, who was also on the call, said, when they learn about the Civil War, they like to think that we in the North are the good guys. Massachusetts was the first state to abolish slavery. But then they hear about Lowell Mills and they think, wait a second. Where are we getting that cotton? The survey, which was conducted over the courses of 1 year by the Center's Teaching Tolerance Project, also found that teachers, textbooks, and state academic standards aren't helping the situation. While teachers overwhelmingly responded that they feel comfortable discussing slavery, in the classroom, the report found that nearly half think their textbooks are inadequate, and 40% believe their state offers insufficient support for teaching about slavery. It's hard to discuss violence and teach white supremacy. I bet you it is. It's hard to learn about the shortcomings of our American icons and heroes, Jeffrey said. It's hard to wrap our minds around the fact that something so vile undergirds our history. So we have tended to shy away. Popular textbooks, the survey shows, fail to provide comprehensive coverage of slavery. Of the 10 most widely used textbooks, researchers at Southern Poverty Law Center found only one that scored a 70% against the rubric of what of what the they consider should be included in the study of slavery, but the average score was 46%. So you failed, you motherfucker. Moreover, the survey shows states fail to set high expectations for students learning about slavery as outlined in their content standards. Of the 15 sets of state standards the center analyzed, none address how the ideology of white supremacy rose to justify the institution of slavery. Most failed to lay out meaningful requirements for learning about slavery, about the lives of millions of enslaved people, or about how their labor was essential to the American economy. Indeed, Katz, who's been teaching at Wesleyan schools for 11 years, originally didn't include slavery in her U.S. history curriculum because Massachusetts academic standards didn't require it. It's how convenient. But when you want to teach about contemporary issues, he says, it all goes back to slavery and the foundation of the nation. Students can't possibly grasp the gravity of civil rights movement or the genesis of the Black Lives Matter movement, she says, without being grounded in the history of slavery. The report offers recommendations for states, schools, teachers, and textbooks publishers about how to better integrate the teaching of U.S. slavery into curriculums, which researchers at the Southern Poverty Law Center underscored as urgent for students today. If we are to move past our racial differences, schools must do a better job of teaching American slavery and all the ways it continues to impact American society, including poverty rates, mass incarceration, and education. Maureen Costello, the director of Teaching Tolerance and former history teacher, said on the press call. So, again, Esau, be proud of what you did to us, man. All right? You did it. It's over with, man. I'm going to get one quick Bible verse. I'm going to wrap it up. Just want to bring this out real quick. I just find this just so funny. You so-called proud to be Americans, be proud of your history. You got to, take the whole in its entirety. Obadiah chapter 1, I'm going to read 10 through 16. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even though was as one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they have not been. All praise to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.